Why do we change? Why does it happen? And why is it so difficult to change? I'm sure you found yourself asking the same questions as I have. And maybe you looked back in your life and you could see that some changes happen almost instantly. You never had an issue with it. You just decided to make the change and went through it. And then other changes took longer to make, or maybe you didn't even make the change. So, why does it work for one change and not for the other one? In my last video, I talked about the different changes that we make in our lives and how come suddenly the decision you made 5 years ago does not resonate with you right now. That decision is no longer the same decision that you want. It's kind of weird to think about something that you used to want 5 years ago, but right now you don't want it anymore. So, why does change happen and how does it affect us? The starting place is to understand how the brain works with change. Our brain is designed to resist change. Why? Because change brings uncertainty, change brings challenges, and change pushes you out of your comfort zone. And for a lot of us, that's a big no. To the primitive mind, change equals danger. So we rather stay in our comfort zone, continue doing what we don't like to do, but we know that we're safe. So that's why people stay in unhappy jobs, relationships, environments, whatever it is, not because they want to suffer, but because they know what to expect. They're staying within their comfort zone, and that means that they're protected. There's no danger, there's no uncertainty. Change is hard. It is a difficult thing to do because you're changing patterns, behaviors, habits, going into the uncertainty of something new, learning something new, experiencing something new. Maybe it's an emotion that you've never felt before and you feel alone or you feel like no one might understand you. It's not an easy. As I talk about change and also researching more about this topic, I start to understand that it's a process that was never meant to be easy. When you think about some of the difficult changes that you made, how it affect others around you, and that change could have probably, made you stop talking to a certain people. You had to cut ties with some of your close friends or your close family members. How did that make you feel when you were pursuing that change? I think the desired outcome that you visualize from doing the change was much more bigger and stronger than the fear that you had to go through the change. So you saw the goal that you envisioned. Example, you said, I want to start working out and I envision myself to be healthier. I envision myself to have this, wonderful built body. And that was enough for you to start waking up earlier every morning so you can go to the gym. That vision was strong enough for you to go ahead and start the change. It was also louder than the voice at the back of your head telling you, you're super busy, you have so many things that you need to done to you have so many things that you need to get done in a day, and now you want to add going to the gym as another thing. You're just adding more things to do in your life and you're exhausted. But the vision of you seeing yourself in this toned body was much more stronger than the complaints that you had in your head. So that allowed you to go forward with the change that you wanted to make. And I think that's when I look back in my life and I had to remove some people from my life because I knew that they weren't benefiting me anymore, and I knew what was happening, and I knew that I wasn't that person anymore. And when I made that decision and these people are no longer part of my life, I did start to see myself in a way that I never saw myself. I heard a different voice. I saw a different perspective about myself. This brings back to what I said earlier. Some people are comfortable as long as you stay the way you are. And some people will go to any extent to keep you the same way you are. They resist change so much, and they also don't want you to change. And oftentimes that change is something good that you're doing for yourself. People see this as a threat and they feel uncomfortable because they're affecting their lives now too. Or they're just jealous to see the new person that you're becoming. I also worked very hard to shut those voices out, that I wasn't paying attention to their opinions and listening to their voices. I knew what I wanted to do. And if we have a clear vision of what we wanted to achieve from this change, I think that's going to help us get through that change and stay on the path towards that change.